Well, hello, everybody. This is TexAgs Rewind presented by
Yeti.
He's Billy Liucci. And who am I?
It depends on the day.
Formio. That's all you call me.
Okay.
Do people know why you call me that, you think?
Because you correct everyone's form at the gym, like you believe. I think you deep down think you're a personal trainer. You're like the Batman of personal trainers.
That's
by
where I like
day,
where you're going, yeah.
by morning, you're a radio host on TexAgs Radio, and by afternoon, you think you're a personal trainer. I'm surprised you don't just start showing up at the gym. Well, your uniform is no sleeves, gloves, and really baggy shorts. That's your Batman uniform, and you walk in and you train people, even though they don't ask for it.
I hope that you understand that I realize I am just smarter than the 5 people I work out with, and I know there's way smarter people than me out there. And those that I fix on
Sounds
form,
like something Batman would say.
and those that I fix with form typically need help. And I think I'm probably your biggest advocate in the gym.
Thank you.
Like,
I appreciate
who
that.
else?
Well, that's what Batman does. He's an advocate for the people.
I
the
was shocked.
Common folk like myself.
I was shocked that you lifted 400, but then you corrected and said no.
I never did that.
I
I said I did 385 by
but
3.
I was told 400. Anyway.
I've got a lot. And by the way, I heard y'all talking about that. There are a lot of witnesses because it was a major. I think the statute of limitations are up here. There was a bet wagered. I used to be in there in Needham Steed before RC was like, I don't know if you can work out in here. We don't need all the media. Once I went into the media, because then you'd have like Olin and, Belina, Zwerneman, Chip Howard.
I want to be in there.
Cessna. It could have been just a crap show. But they were all betting on I think it was 225 in reps. And there was actual cash money this was before Venmo, on whatever, if I could hit a certain number.
And you did it.
You can ask those guys. They were there.
Well,
we'll get Seth on. He can vouch for it.
We're talking about what's happening this weekend. And Aggie baseball is a hot topic. Obviously, they take on Cal State
Don't
Fullerton.
bet on that. You don't want to be Alabama.
Well, yeah, you don't want to do that. We got Cal State Fullerton. Hopefully, you'll take on Stanford at some point and make it through the regional, and then who knows what's going to happen. So we talked about that.
I'm confident in the Ags, but I don't know if I'd confident enough to go all in.
I don't know.
I think they're going to come out of it, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. But, hey, you're a 2 seed. You weren't going to be a favorite in a regional. This is as close to – I think you're as good as any team in your region, and I think you're as good as the super regional matchups too, whether that's Miami or Texas. Or don't sleep on Louisiana, the Raging Cajuns.
So we talked about that. We talked about the 8-game schedule in the SEC, and we just talked about a little bit of everything. That and more here on the TexAgs Rewind. This was a made-for-TV special. Let's get the SEC all over the headlines for the next 5 days. Because, it doesn't – you knew that a year ago, that these contracts were set in place. And had it been if ESPN wants to revisit this conversation, then we will address the 9-game schedule. Until so, we're not going to.
Yeah, well, again, as recently as just a couple of weeks ago, I think most in the SEC thought that that there would be a 9-game schedule that would be approved, rubber stamped, and go on. Mm-hmm. And then, again, Nick Saban starts saying something. And I bet people in Tennessee saying, hey, you know what? If we went to 8 games with just one opponent, common opponent, or permanent opponent, well, Alabama, that's going to be Auburn. So we don't have to take that L almost every year, and people start, again, you wonder how many, well, I don't wonder. You have to understand that in most cases, people are going to look at what's best for the SEC and what's best for us and not what's best for the SEC. And that's kind of what they sold A&M on. Hey, yeah, I know you were told that you would be the only SEC school in Texas. But it's best for the conference overall if we bring in Texas to Oklahoma. Okay, yeah, I see how much money we're going to make. Well, they're going to make more money eventually, and I guarantee you they will go to 9 games. It's just a matter of will it be in 2025 or 2026. But
is it possible that Texas and OU joining is actually a good thing for Texas A&M? And what I mean by that is starting to take a little bit of the power that is in Hoover and whatnot.
No, I don't think so. Alabama is always going to run this conference. They do. They run it almost as much, and maybe they do.
Did they run it before Saban was there, though?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
There's always in every conference, there's one or two major players, and everybody else kind of has to follow in. And the ACC, it's North Carolina. The Pac-12 was always USC, and the Big 12 was Texas.
If they hadn't shown what they showed in Hoover, you kind of just be rolling in and still with your fingers crossed, hoping for the best. And now you've got legitimate reasons to be optimistic that they could come out of a regional.
Bronny, where's your optimism meter right now when it comes to pitching?
Well, I mean, I'm still in a wait and see mode, right? What are they? Are they what we saw for the first 55 games, or what are they? What we saw for the last week and a half in Hoover? And I think that's the question that Jim Schlossnagle would like to have answered before the games start. But there's no way to know until the lights come on and they got to throw the ball across the plate. Schloss always says hope's not a strategy, and they were having to do a lot of hoping with the starting pitching. Now, at least, you have something to build a strategy off of, right? So when you look at the games and you know what you know about your guys and how Cal State Fullerton wants to play, now I can go into that with a strategy, because I feel like, okay, all of them have been in the strike zone consistently for the last week and a half. So based off of what we know about that, who do we feel like is going to match up best with what Cal State Fullerton does? And then if you get Stanford in the next round, Troy Wansing's got a lot of swing and miss type stuff. Is that really going to help you whenever you play an offense that is so explosive as Stanford? So I think what it's done is given belief into a strategy more so than create hope for the coaching staff. I mean, and again, I'm excited that they had that week in Hoover, but for me, it's still kind of wait and see. And what are you? Which version of Texas A&M is going to show up? The one that we saw from February through early May, or the one that we've seen for the last month?
Scott?
I'm going to be a little more optimistic, because I think Tennessee is as good a 2 seed like A&M as anybody in the tournament. And then Arkansas, South Carolina, LSU, Arkansas, or Vanderbilt are all national seeds. So I think you did it, and you didn't have a matchup against Missouri mixed in there or Ole Miss, who's struggling. You did it against teams that were legitimate and playing good baseball at the end of the year. And I also think, as I said last week, the strike zone, as it was being called last week, is what I expect the strike zone to be called in the NCAA tournament, was not the strike zone that we saw in 75% of the season.
Baseball starts the Stanford Regional today against Cal State Fullerton. First pitch is set for 9 p.m., and the game can be streamed on ESPN2. This is the Aggies' 37th appearance in the NCAA tournament. That's a fun fact.
Let's make it 40 soon.
Let's make it 40. Why not?
Real soon. Within the next 3 years.
Yeah. And I think we all remember what happened last year on their NCAA tournament run, that historic and really exciting season.
Remind me, what did they do?
They went to Omaha.
Oh my gosh, I forgot all about that.
Beat the Sips out of Omaha.
Oh yeah.
It was fun.
And they beat Notre Dame too.
Yep. It was just a real...
I didn't like the Oklahoma games, but that's okay.
That's okay. We still had fun while it lasted. Track and field, we have 15 men and 13 women that advanced last weekend to compete at the NCAA Division I track and field.
That's 28.
Yeah. That's a lot of Aggies.
That's peeps.
That's a lot of Aggies. So some of the qualifiers are in high jump, 110-meter hurdles, 100-meter dash, I'm guessing is what, 100-meter dash,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. 800-meter run, 400-meter hurdles. We had 2 men advance in that. And then for the women, we had 1 advance in high jump, 100-meter hurdles, 100-meter dash, 400-meter run, and the 200-meter run. I'm impressed by that. I don't know.
Are you impressed?
I'm impressed. I'm not a runner. Never been a runner, never will be a runner. If you see me running, start running with me, because there is something chasing us.
Miss Cavin, I'm going to give you a little bit of advice. Not telling you to run, but I think in this next year, when starting tomorrow, we need to start embracing the things that you're not comfortable in doing, because there's growth in doing things you don't like doing.
Running will never be one of those things.
That's why you should do it.
No,
I used to
probably
hate
not.
shots. Now I give myself a shot.
Yeah, and I'm really proud of you for that, but I will not be running anytime soon, voluntarily.
We start off slow. We do a half a mile.
Probably not.
We'll do it right out of here. We can do it right now. During the break. I mean, we can do a half mile in 3 minutes. 4
Absolutely
minutes.
not. You're going to have to give me about 12.
Okay.
Anyways.
That's what my mom, who's 80-something, walks a mile in. But okay.
Well, your mom's more athletic than I am.
Well, this is true.
Sam Bennett started his professional career yesterday, as
Yeah.
we know. Woohoo! Go
Yay.
Sammy B. He shot 1 under par in the first round of the tournament, and he is tied for 19th right now. And I did get word that he is currently in line to make the cut, which I had to get kind of a definition on because I'm not that knowledgeable in the golf game. But he's in line to make the cut right now.
Getting cut is not good.
Getting cut is not good.
Never been good. We
Never
got a few
good.
seconds left. What else?
Julia Cottrell got named to the National Fast Pitch Coaches Association All-American Third Team.
Love her. Anything else?
No, that's it. Go Aggie softball. Go Aggies. Yay around Aggieland.
Go Aggie everything.
Go Aggie.
I sped you up. We actually have a whole 2 more minutes. Go ahead.
There's
kidding.
no way.
When we come back on TexAgs Radio, who's going to be on the show?
I'm guessing Billy Liucci.
It's Friday.
We all know 8 games in the SEC is a hell of a lot harder than 9 in the Big 12 or the Pac-12 or the Big 10 or the ACC. And there's a lot of clowns in the national media that don't seem to understand that. Joel Klatt leading the clown parade. Danny Cannell, who I really like, but he's just I don't know if it's even serious at this point, the anti-SEC thing. All the buffoon Big Ten fans that get super, super mouthy. It's just a contingent of just upper Midwest tough guys, just they think they're at like the local sports bar picking a fight with each other. Ohio State fans, Michigan fans, Penn State. That's the toughest contingent of college football fans there is. I've been in the cities where A&M has played in the past, and they just, they're all likes to fight guy. High school steroid guy, get to college, continue it, take it into the stadiums with you. That's them. They run their mouths a lot about the SEC, but yet these teams go in there and Michigan can't even get past. They get humiliated by Georgia, then they can't even get past TCU. Who gets humiliated by Georgia. It's just Georgia. Well, no, it was Alabama. That's what we heard from OU fans year after year. Oh, it's just Alabama. Well, then it was LSU who made Kyler Murray, were the first one to expose Kyler Murray. It just goes on and on. Before that, it was Florida. One year, it was Auburn. Florida State got him with Jimbo. People want to asterisk that national title and say, well, it's because of Jameis. These people just move the target around to fit their narrative, and one of the narratives is the SEC schedules down. And it's so funny that these Texas and OU fans have been saying that for 12 years in an attempt to dismiss Texas A&M and anything they accomplish. And I know they don't have championships, so I'm not saying they've accomplished a lot. But what they have done, for example, people are looking at the last 10 years in conference. Texas' conference record is like 1 percentage point higher than A&M's. Over a 10-year span of Big 12 games versus SEC games, and these people, who I don't think a lot of them are college educated, to not be able to, or they're just that biased to not be able to look at it and go, yeah, this path's a lot tougher. But these people don't realize what 1 percentage point is over 10 years. And by the way, that cuts off A&M's first year in the SEC, which was 6-2 in the league.
Right.
The real conversation is what have they done since they left? And it is night and day different when you compare the two.
My people, do me a favor. Like, comment, subscribe, and anything else Billy says. Anything?
Tell your friends.
Yeah, there you go.
Watch Aggie baseball.
There you go.